Welcome, everybody, to Politics for Dummies. I'm your host, Casey. So we're going to be doing something different than we did in the first video I posted. We're going to be just speaking. There's no script. I don't have anything written down in front of me. I'm literally sitting in my dorm talking. So what I wanted to talk about was political partisanship. So we hear partisan, even bipartisan all the time today. Nowadays you hear that something is partisan, so the other side of the political aisle doesn't like it. So what partisan basically means is that it advances one side's agenda or one side's political beliefs. It means that the other side kind of gets down by it, or kind of gets it's kind of like if you do something that gets you a promotion but your friend doesn't get anything from it. It's kind of like that. It helps one side but not the other, simply speaking. Bipartisan means that it helps both sides, or it works for both sides and follows both sides' beliefs, opinions, all of that. So partisanship is obviously on the rise. What we see now in the era of Obama and Donald Trump, since they are two figures that were heavily polarized, we see the political divide in our country widening and widening and widening and widening. So Pew Research actually did a lot of studies on this, and they found that the political divide has shifted. I want to say, this is just off the top of my head, I want to say it's shifted by over 25%, meaning that people used to identify moderate at this level, and now they identify moderate at this level. Figuratively speaking, I don't know how big of a gap that is percentage-wise, but there's people that have shifted and jumped to party, and left this middle where compromise is stranded. We don't have any compromise anymore, because if a bill goes through the House, right, Democrats pass a bill through the House that they want to pass. The Senate, it's called the graveyard. They call the Senate the graveyard for bills because it dies. I think it's over 250 out of 400 bills have died in the Senate under the Mitch McConnell. And then, just like when Obama did it, Obama tried to pass over 500 pieces of legislature. Kind of a misleading number, because it's not 500 pieces of legislature. There's actually about 136 pieces of legislature, but Democrats like to throw the 500 up there to make it look bigger. There's about 130 that were actually blocked by Republicans, and then the rest were Supreme Court justice nominations like Merrick Garland. It was federal judge appointships, and other federal positions that weren't political appointees. So there's all that. So now our partisanship has come to the point where it's disastrous. We have party over country now instead of country over party. Say I'm a Democrat and I don't want Trump to look good. I could just have my House, because we control it, I could just have us block all of his bills. Or reject anything that he supports, and it could be filibuster, but just reject anything he supports. And if I'm a Republican, I could just do what I'm doing in the Senate now and block anything that I don't support from the Democrats. The thing that this does in their favor, a lot of you might be wondering, why does this help people? That doesn't seem like it would help. It seems like it'd make them look like dicks. Well, it kind of does if you pay attention. So what it does is it makes the other side look like they're doing nothing, because a lot of the general populace, not that this is a bad thing, but a lot of the general populace doesn't go into the House website and find out which bills were proposed, which bills were voted on, which bills were passed, and which bills were declined. And then from there, they don't go to the Senate page and they find where those bills were killed, who voted on those bills, how they voted. Now some people do. Some people do, and I support those people. It's a valiant effort. I do it as much as I possibly can, which is still not a lot because it's kind of boring. So there's all that, right? There's these things that make the other side look bad. So there's do nothing Democrats. You hear that a lot from in political rhetoric today. Do nothing Democrats, because they haven't really passed as much as they would like to under President Trump, and that's true. They haven't, but that's a partisan goal there, to make them look bad, so because it looks like they didn't pass anything. And it's the same thing with Republicans. If we are like, oh, Republicans aren't doing anything, they're just blocking this and blocking that. Well, that's true. They are blocking things, but they are doing things too. We just, the House doesn't want to vote on certain things that Trump endorses, and that's, I mean, Trump does not get along well with Democrats. We know that. And Trump does not get along well with moderate Republicans. We know that. So there's this thing where, there's push here, there's push there, there's push here, there's push there. So the goal has not become to progress forward and move forward as a country like it should. The goal has become to uh, make the other side look bad and make the other side look like they don't do anything and make the other side look worse than us. It's kind of like, don't make us look better, make them look worse. That's why smear campaigns are at an all-time high. There's more visceral hatred in politics than there has been in a long time. And remember, there was a vice president who shot somebody. We've got all this. That might not be correct. I might be remembering that incorrect. But I think Hamilton shot somebody. Regardless, I'm getting off topic. So there's just so much hatred because we have these deep-seated beliefs, and then we go into our own echo chambers, right? This is a common term, and I know people hate that term, but we go into our own echo chambers. If you're a Democrat, you go take refuge in CNN. If you're a Republican, you go take refuge in Fox and Friends. And it's not even just that. It's Facebook. It reads your algorithms. If you go to a certain section in Facebook, it will identify you as a moderate, a Republican, a conservative, a GOP conservative, a liberal, a Democrat, a far left. It'll identify you as all of these things. So it gives you things that you want to see, so you keep coming back. So I know I'm kind of rambling all over the place, but remember, I don't have a script. I'm just talking about political divide and kind of throwing in there a little bit what causes it, just so people know. And the thing is, there are ways to fix it. It's not going to be overnight, don't get me wrong. It's going to take a long time. But ways to fix it are maybe putting yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you watch Fox, go to CNN. If you watch CNN, go to Fox. If you have an echo chamber of Facebook, try and search out other things to see. You want to see other things. You want to see other people and how they feel. It's not just far right versus far left. There are moderate people that are too scared to speak out for fear of, getting ostracized by both sides. I am a moderate, and it's weird to see because both sides are like, well, why do you support this on this side and this on this side? Like, people can't fathom that that's a thing. My word of advice is research. Don't be scared to look into what you like to see. And the thing that does definitely need to change is how this government operates. Let's just get a damn overhaul and throw them all out. Okay, we can't do that. But we've got to pay more attention, kind of, to how they operate. And I know that sounds like a lot of boring ass work, but it's good work. It's important. I say that because I have a political channel, but it's important. Yeah, somewhere in that rambling there's a video, I think. I just wanted to kind of flow on it, kind of go open on it. How bad is the political divide? Where is it? Where are we at? Where do we stand with it? How does that work with us? And right now, the answer, not very good. Partisanship, all-time high. Bipartisanship, all-time low. That was a depressing episode with me just rambling on and on and on. This has been Politics for Dummies. Thank you for watching.